This is a Fox News alert. The Iowa caucuses are going on at this very moment. They're caucusing, and the first results will start arriving in just moments. When they do come, we will have them here immediately, obviously, and we can't wait. So we wait on that. The other big story tonight is the continuing spread of the coronavirus in China and now throughout the world. Amazing undercover videos from China show the scope of the crisis there. Not only that, but they raise disquieting possibilities that China's government is not telling the whole truth about what is going on. In fact, now that seems likely. Chief Breaking News correspondent Trace Gallagher has more on this story. Trace?
Hey, Tucker, the death toll from coronavirus in China is now 425, and that surpasses the country's death toll from the SARS virus back in 2002, 2003. But remember, that's the number China is reporting, and there is skepticism because the country is notorious for secrecy and censorship. And many critics believe China is downplaying the severity. Some Chinese citizen journalists are now posting videos online that we have not independently verified, showing a situation that appears to be getting worse. In one video, clothing salesman Feng Bin claims to have spotted 8 dead bodies in 5 minutes at public hospitals in Wuhan. After the videos went public, Feng says masked men in hazmat suits banged on his door, telling him he needed to be quarantined. Feng says he was suspicious because he didn't have any symptoms and the men were not doctors. Sure enough, he says they broke into his home, confiscated his electronic devices, and took him away. Not to a hospital, but to jail, where he was accused of selling the videos. There are numerous other reports of China cracking down on activists who are trying to use these videos to investigate the severity of the outbreak. Chinese human rights defenders say more than 250 Chinese citizens have been detained for allegedly, quote, spreading rumors. And finally, we should note that food companies in China have launched contactless delivery service where food is left outside and drivers stay at least 10 feet away from customers. We should note KFC and Pizza Hut in China are also not allowing their drivers to have contact with customers. Tucker.
Those are shocking videos, Trace.
Yep.
They really are. Thanks for that.
Sure.
Appreciate it. Gordon Chang knows an awful lot about China. He's the author of the book, The Coming Collapse of China. He joins us tonight. Gordon, thanks so much for coming on. So 450 deaths, that's the official number. It's hard to believe at this point, and we've spoken to people who seem to have knowledge of this in the U.S. government who suggested that that's not true. What do you make of that number?
Yeah, that number is far too low, Tucker. And there are really 2 reasons for it. One of them, as Trace Gallagher mentioned, is deliberate falsification. This has been going on since the virus was first identified last month, in December. But also there's something, and it's even more worrying. A second reason is I think that the government in Wuhan and some other cities have just lost the ability to pick up corpses. So really what we're having right now is they are completely overwhelmed. They're not able to keep accurate statistics. And so what we are witnessing is essentially a breakdown in government, and keeping accurate statistics is a very minor part of their priorities right now.
Well, that tells the whole story right there. I mean, and I think we maybe should have seen this coming. If you quarantine a city of 11 million people, bigger than New York City, that's not a small thing. There's massive disruption, economic disruption, massive expense in that, and it's hard to control people. So you would never do that unless you felt you had to, would you?
Right. And you know, I can understand why they want to quarantine. But remember, the Wuhan mayor said that about 5 million people from his city left before the quarantine was imposed. And also right now, the quarantine has aggravated a problem. And that is people can't get to hospitals, so they're at home. And at their home, they're dying. And they are infecting other people in their households because they are not, in a sense, quarantined from wives, husbands, brothers, sisters, whatever. So you now have a situation where the quarantine has made the problem worse. And it's also created panic. And that panic has had consequences on, for instance, social cohesion, which is absolutely necessary if you want to beat an epidemic.
We should say the video we're playing right now, I don't know if you can see it, Gordon, but apparently the man who shot this video has now disappeared. Probably not surprising. Very quickly, you're painting a picture of a country moving toward the brink of real disorder. You think that's right?
Yes, because also you have, it's not just Wuhan. Many virologists think that this Wuhan will be also duplicated in cities like Shanghai, Chongqing, maybe even Beijing. Clearly, there is fear everywhere throughout China right now.
Yeah.
And this is only going to get worse because it's probably not going to end until April or May.
Scary. Gordon Chang, thanks so much for that.
Thanks, Tucker.